But so your Sagittarius rising, your rising sign is what defines your first house. And then the houses and signs go around from there on the chart for you. I'm also Sagittarius rising, so my first, whatever, anyways. The point being, my 8th house is also Cancer. But so vertex of the 8th house Cancer means that you will have fated encounters in regards to or during times when the subject is deep matters. So the 8th house is death, sex, the taboo stuff, like the undercurrent of the human experience that we might not always necessarily look at, that people tend more to want to look away from. The 8th house is all that shit. And then, so for Cancer to be there, or just Cancer in general, is like intuition and like gut feeling, empathy, nurturing qualities. Cancer's like the mother zodiac. It's associated with the past. So for your vertex to be in Cancer at 20 degrees in your 8th house, conjunct transit Jupiter, means that you'll have fated encounters right now, but like also like that are like around, surrounding, or because of, or enrobed in the 8th house of dark, deep death shit. And it's also like occult studies, which astrology and shit. So I just thought that was funny and cool because like maybe this is a fated encounter, who knows, or whatever. Yeah, and that's not me like trying to drum something up. It just wasn't interesting, like almost dead on placement. And I should also say a conjunction is a type of aspect, and we'll see some other aspects throughout your chart. And it just is a connection that two planets are currently having or have on your natal chart, in which they form a certain degree of an angle on the chart, which implies if it has a beneficial flow of energy between the two, or if there's a challenging flow that might need some sort of an adjustment. These two are conjunct, which means they're right on top of each other, like aligned. The energy is one and the same. And a conjunction actually allows it for up to 8 degrees of an orb in either direction, and it's still technically a conjunction, even though it's off by 8 degrees. This is currently off by 1.5 degrees. So you are in an abundant time of fated encounters, my friend, regarding dark shit. So here we are. Yeah, let me actually take a look and then I'll be back. Interesting. Okay, well, let's start with your big three. So we'll look at the sun and the moon and the rising. The sun's the identity. The moon is your emotional you. And the rising is like who you present. And it's like who you become. As you continue to present, you end up being like, oh, what? Turns out that's me. You faked it till you made it. So yes, your sun sign is Leo. Leos drive me nuts sometimes, and I don't even know that many people in the world, so let's be real. I've just had somebody specifically that I fucking hate. So like, I'm obviously setting it aside because that's not you. But Leos are a little silly at times, but they're also like the most lovable of all the signs. So that's obviously silly to say of me. But your Leo sun, first of all, the sun is in its domicile in Leo. So each sign has a planet that rules it. The sun rules Leo. So the sun is literally in its own house. It can be its best self in Leo. So that already is a legit placement because it's not like the sun trying to shine from somewhere deep, dark, and gloomy. it's the sun in the sign and placement that it can best possibly be, which is exactly why Leos are so likable, because they are able to express their identity so easily because the sun's energy just flows through them. It makes them very charismatic and like magnetic to people. Sometimes like Leos can like get away with too much shit because people let them because they like you because you're kind and you're good, because Leos are they're like the noble king, you know, and like a king, they're very much like the center. They're the sun. They're the center of attention of the room. It's their very main character energy. And yeah, people like them, which I think is great, but I think Leos should understand that. I think that's important to recognize that, oh, I just have like a fucking like magnetic charm about me, and that is a skill and an ability I should like cherish, and I should not like take it for granted or like use it against, or like use it because to like not actually build anything within myself because I don't have anything to offer, and I instead just use charm, because like pretending that you're whatever doesn't make up for not having it, you know? Like if someone laughs at your jokes because they think you're cute, that doesn't mean that you're a comedian, you know? Like the joke wasn't funny, but people laughed maybe because they love you. And those are two different things, which both have different places in life. So that's definitely something to be aware of as a Leo. And also because you're rising, you had like two other Leos. Was it your rising sign? I'm not going to get ahead of myself. We'll touch on that when we get there. But your sun is in a house that has a number. And I don't remember. I have to look. Sorry. Okay. It's in your 9th house. So that means that you very much are identify with your seeking of knowledge of some sort. You probably Sun of the 9th house, Leo. So I was also going to say Leos are like leaders as well. Like they're like the lion, the king of the jungle. But it's like in your house of like knowledge, which I don't know necessarily aligns with traditional like Leo energy, which is not a bad thing. It's not in a bad house for the sun, for the record. I'm just trying to like spitball here. But your identity is tied up in things, not in tied up, but like is your understanding of concepts that are greater than you. The 9th house is all about like higher education, and not necessarily like college, but like understandings or like philosophy that are more than surface or like ground level. Like it's opposite the 3rd house, which is like immediate exchange of information, like right in front of you. But the 9th house is then like, okay, now I'm like trying to enlighten myself. I'm trying to go to the next stage of understanding or whatever. So that is a theme in just how you identify is seeking information or knowledge of some sort. The 9th house is also religion, so maybe there's something there. Yeah, and it's also travel. But yeah, you know, but you see how those things are in the sight. Can you say that? Is that right? Can you see how those things are in the sight of, like in seeking knowledge? Really, you know, you travel because you want to experience things that you wouldn't have attained into your wisdom otherwise, or maybe religion as well. That's, I hope, what people seek from it. To attain a wisdom that can't just be like taught at school necessarily, or what you have because your sun is there, which is your identity. Also, the moon is literally right there. Your sun and your moon are conjunct by lever, you know? So I think there's probably like a longing, or there just is a deeper understanding to things, like 3 degrees, which is crazy. I have not seen that for a minute. So your emotional self is in full alignment with your identity. So that must be nice. So like your action is just in line with your feeling. A lot of, maybe the vast majority